What are these? Huh? How cool are those? Come on. So happy. Now that is a good looking wall panel. And I know I've said this before. I wanted to originally do the stereotypical wood cabin look inside the van, but after finding the less expensive laminate flooring, the gray stuff, there was no going back. Being as smart as we can money-wise, right? So, yeah. Now we got to get this bad boy in. We got 2 of them. I will probably need to go back to get a 3rd one. Hopefully not a 4th one for the roof, because this is going to be all of that shell for me. So we're going to start with the passenger side. It should be the easier one. I've been going back and forth on whether or not I want to bring it all the way down to the floor, because doing that means I got to cut around the wheel well, right? And we all know how well I've been doing with that when it comes to all of the other stuff in here. Not at all. I probably will do my darndest just to bring it down as low as possible. Starting with this side, gonna have to cut it to length because they're 8 feet long. This is not 8 feet, but I'm gonna measure that now and figure out how long it is. Okay, that worked a lot better than I thought. I was super nervous about using the jigsaw on this really expensive MDF board, but I switched over to a fine blade and it did a pretty darn good job. Like a moron, I didn't stop the blade before I pulled it out on my first pass when I was coming this way, and it did cause a little bit of a kickback and a ding, and we got a little bit of damage right there on this piece, but that is scrap that will be used elsewhere in the van, so that's okay. Did not transfer over onto this main piece, so that's super cool. Now, I need to do the actual measurements to see how far in the wheel well is, and I know that all of these top corners here are gonna have to be trimmed in some fashion just for the way that the van is contoured. Let me figure that out, and I'll let you know what I do. That was getting very frustrating. It's so cold out. So we have to do this the other way now. We have to turn on the heater. And I don't want to just run the van because it's far more expensive than these little green propane tanks. And it'll be a nice sort of tester to see how well the insulation works. Crack a window, you don't want to die. Low, light. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Come on. What the heck? Oh no. Don't tell me my Mr. Buddy's dead. Or Mr. Heater Portable Buddy. There we go, turn on high. Haha. Alright, so we're gonna let that warm up in here a little bit, then we can continue to do what I'm freaking struggling with, which is cutting out a, I don't even know anymore. I can't speak English. It's so cold and late in the day. I don't know. Outline of where I need the wheel well to be. All right, let him run. I'm actually gonna turn him down to low because he's quite effective. And we'll get back to making this frickin' outline. Oh boy. Okay, first dry fit. This is not gonna go in properly at all because I have not done either one of the corners yet, but I want to see if that wheel well's good. You know what happens now. This is where I find out how badly I messed up somewhere. Of course I didn't clean up. God forbid I be tidy. This is what I'm talking about. Look at it. Well, you can't see. Ow! It's okay. You can save it. Well, then it does work. Okay. It's gonna fall and break, and I'm gonna be very sad boy. COVID. I am going to take off these two corners, and then we'll do another dry fit. Okay. It's not pretty. Well, it is very pretty, actually, but those corners are janky. Second set of hands would have been super helpful. I'm very impatient and stubborn, so I like to do things on my own as much as possible. I don't know that I will cling to that when I get to the other side, because that side is going to be even longer than this side, I think. We'll see when we get there. Gotta do some measurements. But now I'm going to attach this to the studs. I got different screws. I got neoprene self-drilling screws. No idea what they're for, but they have little washers attached to them, so hopefully the screws don't sink into the MDF board too far. Where is my drill? Oh boy. All right, and we'll see how difficult this is to do by myself. Turns out neoprene washers are for roofing. If you're a roofer or you already knew that, you're laughing at me, and that's completely fine. I learned something new today. Either way, we returned those. I just bought some regular washers. The whole idea here is that I'm using the screws that I use to mount the studs to the van with, but I don't want them to sink too far into the MDF board. So that's why I'm pursuing the idea of the washers. Let's see if this works. And I left all the screws over there. Oh. Hate everything. Well, I like it. I was a big dum-dum when installing this. I should have gotten help for sure. Would have brought the frustration level down, absolutely. So that will be happening on the other side. But for now, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Actually, come in. Ah. So we're gonna call that a day for today after I clean this up, because this mess is already getting under my skin. I will see you all tomorrow. Okay, so there's still lots to do with these wall panels, and I didn't film anything of what I was doing today, which was putting up, so this is the one we did last time, and I just did the opposite wall, which is a full 8 foot panel. I reiterate, second set of hands. I was impatient, and I once again went through with it on my own, and I've got little mistakes, right? Little hole there. Another one down there. I mean, most of the stuff will be covered up, but again, in my experience, don't be impatient, get a second set of hands. That being said, it looked damn good. Now what's going on up there? That's super weird. Why is that there? Why'd you leave that as a gap? Well, the van's about 11 feet, the boards are only 8 feet long. And that actually, I want to be the kitchen area, and I actually want to put a bit of a backsplash in, even if it's just those stick-on tiles that you can get, just to give it sort of a separation from like the sleeping area to the cooking/kitchen area. So I may just end up putting some scrap pieces of that hardwood subfloor that I have left there, and then covering it with tile. Obviously, I'll show you when I get there, when I get to that stage. So we've got no more of this left. I put this last scrap piece here on the door. Now I just need 3 more to cover up the rest of the doors that are still exposing their fiberglass insulation. A little bit more work to do, but this took me far too long. I want to say, close to 3 hours to do it by myself, maybe 2. I'm not very great with measuring. Vans are very hard to measure. If you're better at this stuff, you're gonna have an easier time for sure. But it's up and it looks damn good. I'm super happy with it. And yeah, let's get to the rest of that now. Won't be now for me, it'll be now for you. I couldn't wait another day, so we've got a 3rd board and we are going to finish up the missing section back there because I'm impatient in all facets. This will be nice. This will just make the wall done. And this piece should be really easy. It's just a rectangle. So get that done. And then the rest of this board will probably be used for the rest of the door panels. And hopefully there's enough left over to finish off the roof. Doesn't matter. We'll get to the ceiling later. Let's do this. I don't have any labels, I'm never gonna know where my studs are. What do we think? This is probably where I'll do the movie reviews from now on. I need to get some sort of movie. Ow! First, I'll need to learn the dimensions and the limits of my surroundings. I'll have to get some like movie posters or something. Who knows? Actually, it'll probably be this side because I think I want the TV over there. Not sure, but hey, that section's in. I think it looks pretty good, especially when you just see it like this. If we go up close, you can see there are some issues. This could have been fixed, but again, I was frustrated. I didn't want to take this entire long section back out, but it actually completely covers up the studs. So this part of the new piece is floating. There's nothing behind it right here. For what I have planned for this area, this seam will get sealed up. You won't ever see it. I'm liking the walls a lot. Guess we should do the door panels now. Yeah, right. That's not too bad. It's not perfect. I'm not a master carpenter or anything. Probably needs a couple more anchors in it. Mismeasured this, but that's okay. Yeah, I think it looks good. All that's left to do now, aside from the ceiling, is the 2 back doors, which I might do the one side, but the other side's gonna have to wait till I figure out what I'm gonna do about that lock because the cylinder fell out again just this morning. So the last thing I want to do is seal it up like this, have it fall out, then I'm going to take the whole panel off to get to it. Anyway, we'll figure that out. But I think that wraps it up for wall panels, guys. So yeah, don't judge me too harshly. I think they look awesome. So yeah, until the next one, guys, just be happy, be creative, be yourselves, and most importantly, just be positive. I'll see you in the next one.